T-R-U-F. Truth.
He's the mirage in the rearview glass.
It's Ray from Dallas.
Was he here? Was he there? Was he ever mine?
Ray from Dallas?
Just a trick played by time.
This dude is savage as fuck.
Or just a dream?
What up, Ray from Dallas?
Ray from Dallas, tell me true.
He's fun.
Hi, Ray.
This appears to be a black man.
Ray from Dallas.
Let's take this walk.
Is he real or just a dream? Falling stars or a laser beam? Ray from Dallas, tell me true. Are you the myth or the man I knew?
This dude is
Savage as fuck.
I'm the champion, feel the rush, the crowd goes wild.
Obviously, obviously, yeah, obviously. Obviously, yeah, obviously. Tell them, obviously. I know these niggas don't want me to win, but I'm sorry, G. I know they thought I wouldn't come back and pose on them hoes, but nigga, it's time to eat. I got a vendetta. Any one of you niggas, I been better. Got them gritting they teeth without gritting at them. Took a second away from the table, it's time to feast. Heard they was mumbling, talking up under their breath. That nigga a hoe, he soft. That nigga lame. That nigga bitch, he puss. I stood on business, that's law. I had them running that boots and tucking they tail and scared to put me on a song. I had them cuffing they bitch and thinking I hit. Shit, boy, what you on? Couple years off, and I'm back in this motherfucker, nigga. Do somebody, then fuck your recognition. You don't like I'm spitting, nigga, better shoot somebody. The game and full of clowns, I don't believe you sucker niggas. Better leave me be okay. Niggas better watch their speech, okay. You better than me, no way, Jose. I could be cutthroat and I'm all out, but I let them get paid for a minute. Let them look gang for a minute, but really they hate, cause I never look lame for an image. Never be fake, I'm a realist, I'm solid. I went out and got it, I promise I'm with it. Want me to switch up and get soft on so you can make it, I promise I get it. I know some secrets I never tell, but most of you rap niggas got bitch ways. Quick to tell on you, get jammed down, couldn't sit down 5-6 days. Put him and him in a crossway, but a gang member on display. That's the same nigga with an AK on the block yelling out gunplay. That's the same nigga with a trap house and he been through it so he no pain. Look in the face of a realer, laws come questioning me, I don't know names. Bitch, I really come from the trenches. Kathleen crashed out like road rage. Be done snapped out and got life in the pen, cause most of you niggas got hoe ways. Man. See, most of these niggas got whole way. A lot of these niggas be out here faking and fucking on these motherfucking tracks, talking that gangster shit. You too young to be done been through something, young nigga. You too young to be done been through something, nigga. Don't tell me about what you done been through, nigga. You ain't never stood over nothing. Nigga, you don't have nightmares at night, nigga. This shit sound good on the track. Now you got the other niggas out here crashing out cause they think you been through it and you they favorite rapper. Sit down somewhere, nigga. That shit lame as fuck, boy. You niggas really done piss me off. See, I see you nigga really done piss me off. See, I won't fuck with none of you pussy ass rap nigga. Fuck you nigga. You niggas see me all the time, nigga. Hit me in my mouth, nigga. Pussy nigga.
Man, salute. Shout out to everybody here from the 214 to across the states to across the pond. It's RFD and I see in the building pretty kooky. Salute, pretty Jamie James. Salute to Catherine. Man, just salute to everybody, man, who rock with me. All right. I just appreciate the people who rock with me. And I do this shit for y'all. Right. I mean, everybody know who I am and what I represent. Ain't nothing changed, but it just seemed, I don't know. But just know, I appreciate everybody who rock with me religiously through it all. Right? Because y'all are the true MVPs in my book. Right? And I ain't talking about none of the bullshit that's going on because we know that's all bullshit. I'm just talking about, you know, like when I first came in, you understand me? When nothing was nothing and came in, it seemed like everybody was loving me, then it seemed like some change would change. I stayed the same. I was still a Huckleberry. I don't get it. You know, I just learned you can't try to have an understanding for how other people think, right? Because it was never with me about coming in here trying to be somebody number one. I came in to protect the house for everybody who was on this side. I did that. It was, I get, and I'm gonna stay doing that because I'm gonna stay me. But sometimes, you need understanding of why do people change when, you stayed the same. But you can't understand how other people is, right? You just got to continue to do you. And that's what I'm going to continue to do, be the Huckleberry, stay me, not change. I can't worry about other people and why they don't rock with the Huckleberry no more, because when the Huckleberry came in, the Huckleberry made a statement straight up when nobody else was making statements. And it's crazy how it go, but that still don't change nothing with me, because we still riding. Because I'm on the side of truth. I'm on the side of fighting for injustice and corruption. I came in this movement because I seen what the GOAT was going through. You hear me? And that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm going to stay here. But just know, everybody who rock with me, I love y'all, right? People who don't rock with me no more, I don't know what changed, But hey, we're going to keep on easing on down the road, like the yellow brick road, right? So, let's get into it, my people, for the ones who are. The hidden role. Well, before we get started, y'all know I've been covering this Kouri Richins case extensively, right? Extensively. And to me, when I'm seeing something worse than what, and I love you to death, pretty cookie, like real talk. This worse than Kouri Richins to me. We're going to get into it because everybody is just convicting this woman because they heard information come out. Well, that's the same thing they was doing to Kouri Richins. And then when the information. So let's get into it. This is going to be a good one with me tonight. If you can rock with me, I appreciate you. If you can't, and then I know it'll get too late, I'm always show up and show out regardless. Let's get into it. The hidden role in the Kouri Richins investigation. Family, private investigator, and the search, right? And the search, right? So I want to talk to y'all real quick before we get into this video, because today y'all see we got the guy right there, the private eye, the PI, private investigator for the Hitchens family, who Katie always hired, whoop-de-whoop. Now I'm going to say something that a lot of people are afraid to say out loud about this case. If the prosecution thinks this evidence is strong enough to send Kouri Richins to prison for the rest of her life, then they're asking this jury to do something extremely dangerous. Convict a person based on a theory instead of proof. And that should make every single person paying attention to this trial angry. Because the truth is, what we are seeing right now is not a solid circumstantial case. It's a pile of suspicion dressed up as evidence. Circumstantial evidence only works when every piece connects like a chain, Motive connects to means. Mean connects to opportunity. Opportunity connects to the act itself. And when that chain is complete, there are no reasonable explanations left. Let's start with motive. Right? The prosecution keeps waving around money issues and life insurance like that actually equals murder. That is lazy. Millions of couples, right? Millions of couples have insurance policies. That does not mean someone wakes up one day and decides to poison their spouse. Right? I don't mean that. Where's the undeniable proof that Kouri Richins had a motive so powerful she would risk destroying her life, abandoning her children, and committing murder? Because right now, all they have shown is financial stress. And that is not the same thing as a motive for homicide. Right? Let's talk about opportunity. Yes, she was there. Yes, she gave Eric Richins a drink. But listen carefully. Being present is not a crime, right? If that's the standard for murder, then anyone who ever served their spouse dinner before they died suddenly could be dragged into court and accused of poisoning them when they didn't even test the glass. Remember that. The prosecution, they has to prove she had only the possible opportunity to do this. Not just that she was nearby, not just that she poured a drink. They have to eliminate every other possibility. And they haven't done that. Now, here's the part that should make people furious, the means. They're claiming fentanyl poisoning. That's an incredible, serious allegation. But if you're going to accuse someone of secretly poisoning their spouse, you better have ironclad evidence showing exactly how that poison got into their system and exactly who put it there. So where is it? Where is the forensic trail connecting her hands to the fentanyl? Where is the physical evidence proving she prepared it? What is the undeniable proof she put it in that drink? Because right now, what it looks like is the prosecution saying, well, she must have done it. Do that make sense? She must have done it. Shout out to the beautiful Emma Rose in the building. Salute, sweetheart. I just appreciate everybody being here, right? I mean, I don't know what changed, where people just, I ain't talking about the other bullshit them punk motherfuckers talking about. I'm just talking about on this side where, like whoop-de-whoop. Because when I came in, when nothing was happening, I stepped on the line and, now everybody nowhere to be found. But I just appreciate the ones who here. And I want y'all to know that. And I love y'all to death. Just continue to rock with me, y'all. I'm not gonna stop. Now, this guy right here, the PI, private investigator. Listen, we finna watch the video, right? I need everyone watching this to really think about what we are seeing here. Because something about this situation doesn't sit right. We're talking about a private investigator hired by Eric Richins' own family. Not a neutral party, not someone brought in by the court, someone hired by people who already believed they knew what was responsible, who was responsible, right? And somehow this investigator became a key source of information. Think about that for a second. Police executed multiple searches during this investigation. They went looking for evidence. They had the power, the resources, and the authority of the state behind them. And according to what's been discussed in court, those searches didn't uncover what people expected. But then suddenly, this investigator shows up claiming he found information that supposedly points in one direction and one direction only. That should make every single person pause. Because a private investigator works for whoever pays them. Remember that. Their job is to build a narrative for their clients. Remember that. That's not the same thing as an unbiased criminal investigation. And what makes this even more questionable is how this investigator behaved on the stand, which we're going to watch. When the prosecution asked questions, he seemed confident, clear, detailed, like he had every answer ready to go. But the moment the defense started asking questions, suddenly the memory got fuzzy. Suddenly it was, I don't recall, or I'm not sure. That's a pattern people watching trials see all the time when the witness is trying to protect a narrative. And then there's another piece of this puzzle that raises eyebrows. We're talking about hundreds of text messages between Eric Richins, and another woman. Messages that were described as sexual in nature. You know, talking about the butt, going in the buttocks and doing a lot of stuff, sexual nature. But yet, the explanation given was that it was all just joking by this private investigator. Now, everybody, hundreds of sexual messages just joking? That's a pretty hard thing for most people to believe, right? Look, the point here isn't to declare guilt or innocence. That's for the justice system to decide, right? But when you start seeing private investigators hired by families feeding information into a case, investigators who are selective about what they remember and explanations that stretch credibility, people are going to ask questions like me. Serious questions. The truth should come from facts, not from narratives built by people who already have their minds made up. And if that line gets blurry, it doesn't just affect one case. It affects the integrity of the entire system. So the real question everyone should be asking is this: did the evidence lead the investigation? Or did the evidence get pushed in one direction from the very beginning? And that's real talk. Shout out to the beautiful Mevi, the beautiful Jordan in the building, right? Shout out to the beautiful Pam in the building. I appreciate everybody who heard right. Because the love feel great. I don't know, where the love went, but it feel great to have y'all here. I don't know what I did to people on this side. I ain't got no problem with people on this side, right? But it just don't seem like it's there no more. I don't get it, and that's okay. Because y'all know I'm still rocking on this side. Y'all gonna continue to see how I'm coming. But I appreciate y'all who heard. And I ain't never stopping. Shout out to the beautiful Mary B, who put on an excellent show today. Excellent. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to her and check that out. right? And I just want everybody to know the people who rock with me, you know, who I appreciate y'all. Whether it's one of y'all, two of y'all, three of y'all, four of y'all, five of y'all. I appreciate it, and I'm gonna give y'all that same energy. Shout out to the beautiful Grizz girl in the building. I'm gonna give y'all the same energy, right? I mean, I don't know what went on because I came in for one reason, and one reason I ain't talking about that other bullshit that's going on. I'm talking about like on this side, but I still rocking hard, and I'm never a guy who gonna go against the grain. I'm just trying to see what's popping. But look, we got this private investigator on, right? Shout out to the beautiful ocean. And watching this guy on the stand, it really brought tears to my eyes. Thinking about Kouri Richins, right? Look at this guy. He decided to put this on when the defense came up, right? He decided to put this on when the defense came up. But when the prosecution was up, man, cuz was cool. But I want y'all to know I love y'all to death, man, for the people who really rock with me. Who really, really rock with me. One thing about me, y'all know I ain't gonna never make no excuses. I'm always show up and show out. Anywhere I go, who you know I'm rocking with. So before we get this started, oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, hell no. You know what them ticks do? Them ticks, it gets your the thing in the between, like a rifleman, and the ticks the women get back, it make you start tingling. That's what type of ticks it get. Them ticks like that build up in anticipation for you to get a good bust down on each side. That's what them ticks do. Shout out to the beautiful Helen Keller. Love you to death, sweetheart. Love you to death. I mean, you know, and I appreciate, I know you love me, Mary B, but love is showing love, and I always show love to everybody. But love is showing love, but you know, like I say, when it was the other stuff, you know, people love you, but I don't know. It is what it is, but I love whoever her. And y'all know I'm still a Huckleberry, protect the ass at all costs. I'm just saying. Let's get to it, y'all. Watch this sorry ass dude. Let me turn this speed up some. Cause this guy got on my fucking nerves.
My name is Todd Gabler, Gabler.
You appear to be recovering from something.
Yes.
Would you mind just at a high level explaining?
On January 13th, I underwent a 5-level PCLF. That's a posterior cervical laminectomy infusion. My neck has been fused together with titanium rods.
So are you taking any medication today that would affect your testimony?
I purposely did not take any pain medication today for the purpose of the clarity of my mind in my testimony to you.
Oh my God. This guy right here, he pissed me the fuck off, right? And it's like, I don't get it. Why they starting off saying, would you do this? And they're trying to make that sympathy for him, but he gonna eventually put a neck brace on, you know, when the defense come up. But why the neck brace ain't on them? Look how polite he is, y'all.
I took Tylenol this morning.
What, sir, is your occupation?
I'm a licensed private investigator in the state of Utah.
How long have you been a private investigator?
34 years.
What, sir, is your investigative experience that is relevant to this case?
Well, over the course of 34 years, I have worked on approximately 100 homicide cases. I have been active in the trials of perhaps a dozen or maybe more homicide cases over the course of my career. I have
see, because I'm the defense Ocean, the beautiful Ocean, and the beautiful Miss Lily. They the prosecutors. Now, prosecution, co-counsel, how did you feel about this witness that y'all called up, Miss Ocean? Shout out to the homie, Maga Dog in the building. Salute, my God.
Extensive experience in a specialty in digital forensics, which allows me to examine digital devices, phones, computers, other things of a digital nature to uncover information that may have been deleted, destroyed, or altered. I can't really think of anything else that is sort of a 30,000-foot view of what would be important to the jurors in this case regarding my experience.
Well, sir, of those 100 or so homicide cases, how many have you worked for the defense?
All of them. I have always sat on that side of the room, standing in between the state and a defendant.
Damn, why he being out extra like that? I have always stood on this side of the room between the defense. Why he doing all that? Why he doing that? What is, if you a juror, like I know this is the prosecution, and if y'all rock with me, whoever gonna stay up with me, you will see how he, and if y'all got to go to sleep, I ain't knocking y'all, just do y'all thing. You gonna see how he different. And this usually the time I'm gonna be coming on y'all too, late at night, early in the morning, so it's gonna be my time, so I understand. But you gonna see how he different. When the defense get him. But just watch him, y'all. Watch this.
And you mentioned, sir, that you testified about 12 times. Have you ever testified for the state?
Never.
But what do they got to do? What do they got to do with anything if you never testify for the state? And man, shout out to the lawyer, bro. Like, I think he the best. He cold at what he doing, breaking this down. I don't agree with lawyer, and everything, but I'm not smarter than that guy, right? At all. But man, his dad, if y'all ain't seen that the other night, man, shout out to me, V, and who else was in here? Catherine with me all night. They seen Big George break it down exactly how I was saying it to everybody. And Big George is a successful lawyer, right? Successful lawyer, right? And he said everything I said.
Did there come a time shortly after Eric Richins' death when the estate of Eric Richins hired you as an investigator?
Yes.
Do you recall about when?
I was first contacted by Crystal Bowman Carter, an attorney. I believe that would have been early to mid-March of 2022. She asked that I contact her client, Kouri Richins Benson, regarding the death of her brother, Eric. She gave me a broad sketch of what she knew about what had occurred regarding Eric's death. And it was a very short conversation, very professional, very to the point. And then it was a few more weeks. That's Summit County. That was April the 1st, 2022.
And was that engagement to investigate the death of Eric Richins?
Well, that was part of the investigation. I was under the impression that I had been hired at the instance of the filing of a lawsuit by the defendant, in this case, against Katie for the trust money and the control over the trust that Eric Richins had created.
And to be clear, the lawsuit involved Kouri Richins as trustee.
Correct.
And when you're interacting with Kouri Richins, it is in her capacity as trustee.
Correct.
Or personal representative of Eric Richins.
Correct.
What, if anything, sir, did you inform at that meeting with Clint and Katie? What, if anything, did you inform them of how you conduct investigations?
Right. So I talked with them about some of the various facets of an investigation, how it would proceed. I've already talked to you about the qualifications that I have in digital forensics. And so I talked a little bit about that, about the need to get a hold of phones and computers and other things that would have evidence of either a wrongful death or some mismanagement of finances that was being alleged in the case. So for all my clients, it's basically the same speech. You're hiring me to find the truth. The truth is sometimes very difficult for us to accept. I've often said that the truth is half what you most fear that it is and half what you most desire it to be.
Oh, this Freddy Krueger looking motherfucker when he ain't got the makeup on. Boy, he think he could convince the smartest motherfucker in the world to believe at him. Look at him, y'all. Look at him. Look at this motherfucker, man. And I ain't mad at him because look, when I was first looking at it, right, I was like, look at God, right? He's saying this, he's saying that. He coming across intellect, right? He coming across, he doing all, and I was respecting it. I was, but I was just like, okay, let me see where he at with it though. I want to see where he at with it though. Like I don't want to just say he gonna be like this, but I see he was doing that. But then when I seen him on cross, y'all gonna see, right? Because you know, motive is like, why would she do it, right? Prosecutors, they usually argue motive to give the jury a reason a crime would happen, right? Circumstantial points prosecutors often highlight like financial pressure and debt, like they talking about life insurance policies or control over money or property after death. You know, marital problems, you know, between Kouri and Eric, right? And like the potential weakness people like me point out is if the financial situation isn't clearly shown as desperate or the insurance benefit isn't massive, jurors may see the motive as speculative rather than compelling, right? Now, two, like opportunity, could she realistically have done it? Opportunity focus on whether the defendant was in a position to commit the crime, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the circumstantial elements. She was the last person with Eric before he died. She allegedly, you know, prepared the drink he consumed. The death occurred in the home where they were together. But see, the potential problem for the prosecutors, if the defense raises reasonable doubt about the time that suggests that others had access, the opportunity argument becomes weaker. They didn't test the glove, right? They talked about how they didn't do no investigating or look for them. They just checked the trash can, right? Kouri had to tell him about the gummies, so think about that. And the means, did she have the ability to do it? Means is about whether the defendant had the access to the method used in the crime. In this case, the prosecutor's point, alleged purchase and or acquisitions of fentanyl, right? Never heard that. Evidence that fentanyl was the cause of death, right? Now, where the case weakens if the link between the defendant and the actual drug used is indirect. If there is no direct proof she placed fentanyl in a drink because them bitches didn't test it, right? If investigators fail to collect or test key evidence, like I say, glasses, containers, the defense can argue sloppy investigation, like they did in Karen Reed, right? But let's get back to it.
And you cannot separate those two from the truth. I told them that they would have to accept the truth about what happened to their brother. No matter
Good
what
night,
that
Mary
truth
B. Love
was.
you too, sweetheart.
If he took his own life, they would have to accept that. If someone was responsible for his death, they would also have to respect my investigation and accept that truth.
Okay, and I'm glad you said that.
I did.
Co-counsel. And good night, Mary B. Hope you have a great sleep. Right. And who just said that? Who's that? Ocean. You know, they talking about the attorneys. Now, see, this is what we got to do as our civic duty, right? We can't get mad at attorneys because you don't like the way they talk or they're objecting to doing it. That's their job. This woman is fighting for Kouri Richins. Wouldn't y'all want somebody to do that for y'all?
Sir, who paid for that investigation?
I was paid by Clint Benson, but my understanding is that the legal sort of line of authority for which I was engaged was for the estate and Kouri Richins Benson as the personal representative.
Oh, Clint Benson, that's the Eric and Katie brother. You see how he's so articulate in answering? Let's keep going. I just want y'all to remember, he answering these questions good. He remembering everything.
Did you bill them at your customary rate?
I did. I continued to bill them at the rate that was established at the time of my engagement, even though my hourly rate increased during the course of my investigation. They enjoyed a lower rate essentially because of the time that they engaged me.
Did anyone...
You see that? You see that? What the fuck do that got to do? Like, okay, yeah, we could talk about. All we had to do was we want to know what your rate was, fam. You trying to tell a jury you did this because of a lower rate? What is we doing? This is maddening. This is maddening.
Else pay you for your investigation?
No.
Did anyone from the Summit County Sheriff's Office direct your investigation in any fashion?
No.
Did you conduct your investigation entirely independent of the Sheriff's Office?
Yes.
See, now this is real important. This is what I'm learning off the lawyer, you know. Because I ain't gonna lie, that dude right there cold as hell, right? He be stopping like this, explaining it to him, right? Now, remember he said police didn't direct him. Nobody directed him. I want y'all to remember that. The police didn't direct him. Nobody directed him. Okay, maybe true, but he ain't been crossed yet.
Did you provide information from your investigation to the Sheriff's Office?
Yes, on many occasions.
And before providing it, did you receive approval from your client?
Yes, that is part of the standard operating procedure. It would be a crime for me to, under the Utah Private Investigators Regulation Act, to have any file materials go to anyone else but my client without my client's permission. So the standard course would be that I would discuss my findings with my client, and we would discuss handing that over to the sheriff's office. In every case, information that we thought important to the investigation was handed over, and there was no event, no occasion upon which we decided not to turn over something to the sheriff's office. Full disclosure. That was the rule.
Sir, was that flow of information one way from you to the Sheriff's Office?
Oh, yes, very much so. I initially tried to get the 911 audio call that the defendant in this case had made, and the sheriff's office denied my request under the gun law. I appealed to the county administrator for Summit County. She also denied my request. So yeah, it's common for police agencies to be one-way streets.
So is it,
Oh, he talking. You see how he asked him something. He went, oh, they denied my request. They denied his request, right? Yeah, I remember this, right? He didn't work with him, you know, like I said, he you know, they denied his request. He tried to put that in there. Man, y'all, hey, Emma, me V, Ocean, Mary B, Pretty Cookie, everybody who on her, man, the Maga Dog, who else on her? They said Mo else on her, I don't see her. I think I probably got the beautiful Helen Keller, Mo, beautiful Jordan, _ S on her, because that's probably what fucked me up. If she is out to the beautiful _ S, right? Look at this smudge face bastard, right? See, now the one thing, you know, like to me, I got to be raw and real, y'all. And one thing I am, you know, the lawyer, you know, man, that dude right there, like the way I watch him break this shit down, like he cold. Right, and you know, like he know how to, like he just good at what he do. Y'all know he very established, and y'all know Big George his pop. So, but he cold as fuck, right? And then I'm watching, I'm learning. Just remember, y'all.
My investigation proceeded regardless of whether they were providing me any information or not.
did you have contact with the Summit County Attorney's Office before Kouri Richins' arrest?
No,
Did anyone from the Summit County Attorney's Office direct your investigation in any fashion?
never.
Did you conduct your investigation independent of the County Attorney's Office?
Yes.
On June the 15th, 2023, after Kouri Richins' arrest,
And I hope you do, and I hope you go watch they second week breakdown on it. Boy, Big George, man, I love that dude to death, right? Love him to death. And it ain't even about me being right or wrong, but everything that I was saying, he said. And, you know, I didn't know he was going to say that. It just came out that it was 5 hours later. It had been that I sent, so I played. I didn't know he was going to say that. And everything oh my God, man. Y'all make sure y'all go watch the lawyer, you know, second week trial breakdown with him, his pops, Big George.
Subpoena from the County Attorney's Office for your investigative file and any forensic data that you had collected.
I did.
Did you provide that material to the County Attorney's Office in response to that subpoena?
I did. I produced 2 hard drives. One contained what I call the logical and physical investigation file. That would be interviews, audio recordings, photographs, videos. That was a fairly large
And
file.
one thing, Peter's so smart too, when him and his pops be on there. Like, he's so smart, he probably don't know what his daddy gonna say word for word, but he know his pops. And he'll just say, well, why did you say that? Because whoop-de-whoop, and he know his daddy gonna give a thorough explanation and break it down. Like, and what I like about him, both of them, with Big George, is he a top attorney, you know, used to be, but he break it down so smart, but it be simplistic, what a person who ain't as smart as him can understand, if y'all get what I mean. In lawyer terms. In lawyer terms.
Provided a few weeks later was all the computer forensics, the digital forensics, the examinations of the C&E computer, a clone of Eric's iPhone, and some other digital data.
Did you begin your investigation with a hypothesis?
Man, no, he is though, right? He is. Say, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you, like, I see why Peter gifted like he gifted. Right? Like, for real. I mean, Peter got to want it. But he was going to want it having a pops like that.
Yes. A number of hypotheses appeared clear to me in this case. My investigations are hypothesis testing exercises. That's just a fancy way of talking about something that we all do every day. We look at a situation and we evaluate what that is. Is there evidence that supports our hypothesis that that is what it is? Well, if we're looking...
Another thing, he challenges daddy on that, right? He'll tell him that he don't agree with him. And that's I love that. You know, it ain't like they just say, well, I see another way, you know, like whoop-de-whoop.
Looking at a red light, our hypothesis may be that traffic should be stopped, and we look around for data to verify that hypothesis, that indeed there are cars that are stopped at that red light. In this case, it was clear to me that two hypotheses needed to be looked at. Number one, Eric took his own life as a matter of accidental overdose.
Hey, you ain't bullshitting. He do look like an older fucking Chris Albert, don't he? Dad, you ain't bullshitting, beautiful. This cock sucking, oh my God. Oh Lord, look at him.
Kouri Richins surreptitiously had Eric ingest a massive amount of fentanyl and killed him. So, as the case proceeds, and I see new data, I see phone data, I see computer data, I interview people, I look at documents or things or other devices. All of that data gets fed into one of those.
You looked into all of this, right? You looked into all of this. And you said Kouri Richins, she did it. And you explained, and I'm gonna let it play because I want to get to the defense. Let me just let them explain this one more time.
The new data, I see surreptitiously had Eric for data to verify that hypothesis, that indeed there are cars that are stopped at that red light. In this case, it was clear to me that two hypotheses needed to be looked at. Number one, Eric took his own life as a matter of accidental overdose. Number two, Kouri Richins surreptitiously had Eric ingest a massive amount of fentanyl and killed him. So, as the case proceeds, and I see new data, I see phone data, I see computer data, I interview people, I look at documents or things or other devices. All of that data gets fed into one of those two hypotheses, both of those hypotheses. Does this confirm it? Does it deny it? Does this evidence make it more likely that this hypothesis is true?
Yeah, that was some funny shit. The blue paint in the arm, that was Robert Alessi who crossed him. I remember that was the funniest shit. And that was Robert Alessi. I remember that because Robert Alessi was so good at saying that scientific stuff. And, I'm telling you, I watched that case. People don't think I was really into that case. Wasn't that Robert Alessi? Right, yeah. I know it because Robert Alessi. I watched that whole case, the first trial, and I'm gonna tell everybody something else. The fact motherfuckers criticized David Unetti, right, about his opening in the first trial. Man, that was one of the most magnificent openings I ever heard. Just because you had some stupid ass jurors who couldn't see innocent with their own two eyes. People tried to downplay Unetti opening argument. Man, Unetti was on fire.
Less likely that this hypothesis is true. Does this evidence preclude the possibility of one of the hypotheses being true? So that hypothesis testing continues throughout the investigation. And sometimes a permutation of the hypothesis comes along. We have to change the hypothesis just a little bit to allow some of the data to fit that hypothesis. Not large permutations in this case. Pretty straightforward. Two competing hypotheses.
Sir, you just mentioned that in testing your hypotheses, you conducted some interviews.
Yes.
What, sir, is your process for conducting interviews?
So my process is to always have a recording device active for any of my interviews whenever possible. This eliminates any possibility for me to be biased or unclear in my reporting of what was said during that interview. It also protects me in a liability scenario if someone were to allege that I had done something improper or had offered them material for their cooperation, anything like that. That would all be protection for me by recording that contact. So that is the primary objective of documenting an interview. Later on, when I report it, when I summarize that interview and in writing, because it's hard to get a lawyer to listen to an entire interview. And there's some difficulty that they have with that. So they need a summary sheet about what the interview was about. And I type those up based upon the recording that I made. And I type up those later, or I may have an agent type those for me from the recording. And then I'll review the report and sign off on it. And then it'll go into the file. So that.
Yeah, I'm glad. But you talking, ain't you? You remembering everything you doing and shit? You saying this, you ain't, mean, you great. You don't got your thing on. You're working your neck good. Look how you working that neck. Remember, y'all don't see no brace, but look at the thumbnail. Cuz had put his brace on. Why he didn't have it on during the whole time? But okay, we almost there.
Be my process with respect to an interview, all interviews.
Approximately how many interviews did you conduct in this investigation?
It depends upon your definition of an interview, I guess, but 45, probably, somewhere in that department. 40, I guess I could say 40 to 50 to be safe.
And in those interviews, did you identify yourself?
Oh, yes, always. There was no occasion in this case where I did not identify, give people my true identity and who I represented.
And did you record those interviews?
Yes. I think there were a couple of occasions where I could not get a recorder fast enough, but other than those couple of occasions, they were all recorded.
Here's my thing right here. How is it going to ever be an occasion when you're doing an investigation, if you're a private investigator, where you ain't going to have video recordings? Fuck audio. That shit could be manipulated sometime unless it's like you got a motherfucker who they trying to set up because a woman or a man trying to kill a husband or something. We seen them meet up with people in the parking lot. But how the fuck is audio and you talking about except a couple of times? Well, you slick head, Mr. A white Mr. Clean looking motherfucker. What are them couple of interviews you got audio with? That's what I'm wondering. But let's continue.
Who, for example, are some?
Yeah, y'all remember the black Mr. Clean? This is the white Mr. Clean looking. Only reason why I say that because he got a slick black bald ass head.
Of the people that you interviewed.
I interviewed friends and associates of Eric's. I interviewed friends and associates of Kouri's. I interviewed a number of people involved in Eric's business and personal life. I interviewed family members, both the Richins family, and I attempted to interview family members of Kouri's family, but was not successful in gaining their cooperation for an interview. So that was generally who I interviewed.
And was the purpose to test your hypotheses?
Well, yes, I'm interested in getting those interviews done from as many people as I possibly can from both sides of the camp so that I can get the largest possible data set.
Remember he said that he wanted to get interviews with people from both sides of the camp. But he put into this jury, right? Like he tried to get interviews with them. But just remember that if you still up when we go on cross.
To feed into that hypothesis testing scenario.
Did you pass your interview recordings and written reports along to the sheriff's office?
I did.
Sir, as part of your hypothesis testing, did you analyze Kouri and Eric Richins' cell phone billing records?
I did.
How did you obtain the records?
Eric and Kouri's cell phones were being paid by C&E, Stone Masonry. They were Verizon accounts. And I obtained the the billing records from C&E, from Ali Wright, with the authorization of Kouri Wright. There were two productions of telephone records from C&E. The first one was for the period of January 2022 through May of 2022. The second production was May of 2022 through February of 2023.
Damn, you see how this You know, couple of wrinkles in his forehead. He thinking about it, he knowing. Damn, this is incredible. Right? It look incredible on cross. He knowing May 20, 2022, May 6, 20. Oh, you look incredible. Just flowing off the tongue expeditiously. Oh my.
In that January of 2022 onward time period, what types of information were you looking for in the billing records?
So because the billing records don't really offer content, that is to say, it's not a, you don't get to see text messages or what the text message was, you do get to see the numbers that were connected to Kouri and Eric's phones. So we first of all decode that number to a name.
Hold on, what is it?
Figure out who that is.
What did you say?
Through February of 2020.
In that January of 2022 onward time period, what types of information were you looking for in the billing records?
So because the billing records don't really offer content, that is to say, it's not a, you don't get to see text messages or what the text message was, you do get to see the numbers that were connected to Kouri and Eric's phones.
Okay.
So we first of all decode that number to a name. We try and figure out who that is, and we fill in every instance where that number occurs with that name. And then we begin to count the total number of contacts with that phone number. So for example, we would see the highest number of contacts for Kouri's phone to her mother. Not an unusual circumstance that someone would...
Remember the detailed encoding. He said they can't see the... Oh, okay, keep going.
Be close to their mother, and that would be the highest number of contacts on your phone. So that was the procedure that I was initially interested in, was the weight. We call that the weight. So what is the weight of that person on the other end of the line? Kouri's mom was a high weight because there was a high number of contacts. And so I'm interested in how many times you contact that person. Occasionally, I'm interested in what time of day you typically contact that person, and the type of contact, whether that contact is by text message only or by voice and text. That changes the character of the person on the other end of the line.
Oh, okay,
So did you pass your analysis of contact weight along to the sheriff's office?
I did.
Was there any particular contact weight that caught your attention?
Yes.
What contact did that involve?
It involved the contact with Carmen Lauder.
Ooh.
I noted immediately that there were many hundreds of text messages between the two from the initial data set. That was January of 22 through May of 22. There was a very heavy weight. I don't recall if she was the second or third weight, but it was very close. The only two people that I recall that were ahead of Carmen on that weight was Kouri's mom, Derek.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the Carmen who worked for Kouri. Okay, who was cleaning the houses and stuff. Oh, so it wouldn't be no reason, if you're a reasonable juror knowing that this woman worked for her, that she wouldn't highly contact her. Okay, keep going. Sir?
That was the one that stood others.
And to be clear, that involved the weight of contacts between Kouri Richins and Carmen Lauder.
That is correct.
Did that contact weight cause you to investigate Carmen Lauder?
It did.
What did you determine?
Well, it was immediately apparent to me that Carmen had a very extensive criminal record involving drug use and potentially drug sales. I noted that Carmen had a dirty urinalysis, meaning that she tested positive for prohibited drugs in her drug court around the time of Eric's death. I was very concerned about the high number of contacts and the criminal history for Carmen, and I alerted the sheriff's office about that.
Oh, you're talking about the same Carmen who had a fourth story, who changed her story, who got coerced into her story, who said, we're not worried about you. This nothing, that's done. Oh, okay, keep going.
As part of your investigation, did you search the Richins home?
Yes.
When did you first search it?
I believe it was May the 8th of 2023. That was the day that it was released by the sheriff's office. It was an estate asset. Kouri's lawyer, two of her lawyers from Raquin and Nebaker, had showed up as soon as the sheriff's office had departed. And I had arranged for security to stand watch at the house after the sheriff's office released that. So I engaged in a conversation with counsel who wanted access to the home, and it was eventually agreed.
Hey, remember May 8, 2023, right? Because I think that's when Kouri got arrested. Just remember that. Keep going, sir. And wait, hold up. And where your neck brace at? Damn, where your neck brace? Look out. Oh, my.
The lawyers would accompany me on inventory of the property, all of the assets in the house, all of the items in the house in the detached garage. And so that lawyer stayed for a couple of hours and then left. I never saw them during my search of the property again. I continued to search the property for 4 or 5 days. And then that was the end of my contact with the house initially.
And what was your process for searching and documenting your search of the Richins home?
Right. So GoPro video, chest mounted, typically, sometimes mounted on the head, a better recording of what I'm talking about. And that is the procedure for documenting those. There's also photographs that are taken. There are also, with respect to documents, I scanned with a scanner many thousands of pages of documents in this case from the detached garage office. So that was the general procedure for being at the house. There was at least one occasion that I can think of where I was called over to the house and I didn't have my camera with me. So my video camera. So I used
at least one occasion. Ain't that about some shit? One occasion when you're doing an investigation, you show up without your camera. Well, do you got an iPhone or something? Or you gonna say you ain't got that? Just one occasion. That's okay with y'all? For this guy to be doing the investigation and one time he say he didn't show, oh my.
A recorder and my camera on my cell phone to document things. I think that was in 2024. So with that being the only exception, that would be my process.
And
he used his camera to record audio, not video.
Clint Benson present at the home whenever you search the home? And I guess by present, I mean in the home, not necessarily leaning over your shoulder.
That is not an easy question to answer because my focus was not on Clint Benson. My focus was on the things in front of me. I was never in that house without Clinton Benson's.
Hold up. You ain't gonna know if nobody in the house with you just because you're doing an investigation? Is he kidding me? This is stupid to me. And then you trying to major opposite thing. It is the folks, so you ain't gonna know who in the house with you. For real? Okay.
Authorization. I was never in that house without Clint Benson being on his way. So if he wasn't there when I got there, he was
on his way. Oh, so hold up. You were going to the house before Clint Benson get there. Oh, the PI could go in the house before Eric Richins and Kouri Richins' brother. I mean, before he got there, before Benson got there, that's Kouri Richins' brother, Eric brother too. So he said, either on the way. See how he slipped that in? Oh my!
On his way there, and so he would join up later. It's possible during the May searches that Clint had left the house while I was documenting things in the house. I think that was particularly true of the detached garage office, where I was spending maybe 8 hours in a day just scanning documents, just feeding documents into a scanning device. So I think Clint was likely not there during that.
He's generally there?
He was generally there, I would say so, yes.
And you were recording with your GoPro the whole time?
Yes, with the exception I noted, yes.
Did you ever remove, well, other than your recording equipment, cameras, audio, GoPro, all of that,
yeah.
Did you ever bring anything into them?
No, I did not.
Did you?
They gonna get his ass, watch. Carl's almost coming up in like 2 minutes. Watch this, y'all.
Ever remove anything from the home?
Yes, I did.
What did you remove from the home?
So during my May searches of the house, and in particular in the detached garage office, I encountered a number of documents that had Ray Quinney and Medical letterhead on the top, and they were either communications between Kouri and her lawyers, or they were billing records from her lawyers. That would be improper for me to read or possess. It would be unethical. I placed these documents into a manila envelope, and as I encountered more of them, I would simply grab a hold of them and put them into the manila envelope. And at the end of my May search, I took that envelope to the office of Ray Quinney and Medical.
Unethical. He said he didn't read them. I didn't read them. It'll be unethical. Okay, keep going.
And handed it over. There were other things that I removed from the house. Sort of the boys had requested a few things. I believe.
Oh, so he a PI and he over there playing mover too. He a PI and he over there playing mover. Oh, the boys requested you something. Oh, now you're the handyman. I thought you said you was. Oh, okay. Keep going, sir.
Protective Services or someone at DCFS had requested that we get documents that pertain to the boys, and I believe there were some other documents that I removed that were personal documents that were now the property of Kouri Richins Benson. These documents involved vital records, birth records for Eric, other vital documents that we would generally safe keep for ourselves, and I turned those over to my client. I'm trying to think if anything else was removed.
Oh, keep thinking. You don't remember? Oh, really? You forgot? Huh?
An item that I considered to be
forgot? Ted
was moved by the sheriff's office, not me.
No. Oh no. Hold up. You were trying to think of anything. Oh, you went. Hold up. Oh, okay.
If you came upon something that you considered to be evidence, how did you handle it with the sheriff's office?
I don't think there was a standard approach. I only recall a few occasions. I think the first couple of occasions I may have contacted the sheriff's office directly, either Lieutenant Hemingway or I can't recall any others. And then on one occasion, I contacted Travis, the investigator with your office, and then subsequently spoke to the sheriff's office about removing an item.
And is it your understanding that the sheriff's office would then get a warrant and come to the house to seize whatever item you thought might have evidentiary value?
Yes, I was there for one of the occasions.
Thanks, sir. I don't have any further questions.
Okay. Remember, I remember what he said. I want y'all just to remember that. Because guess what? Last time for Cross, oh my God, watching this fucking idiot. Oh, y'all ready?
Good afternoon, Mr. And I want to just law enforcement. Okay. And the rules and ethics and expected practices of private investigators are significantly different, would you agree with me, than those that apply to licensed law enforcement?
I don't know that I would agree with that in every circumstance. A private investigator, when he is hired by a lawyer, is bound to all the ethics that that lawyer is bound to.
Okay.
So
No, she didn't ask your dumb ass that. She said is a private investigator the same as a fucking officer? Did y'all this? I wouldn't have. Oh, okay, keep going.
But for example, you don't have to go get a warrant to go look at a house.
Well, right, that's the state action distinction.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not a state actor.
Right.
I've never been a state actor.
Right.
I will never be a state actor.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you want to go
Yeah.
search a house for 6 straight days and look at thousands of documents, you don't need to get a judge to give you permission to do that, right?
No, I got the permission of Kouri's lawyers who represented her to do that.
And you also got the permission of Clint Benson, right?
Yes.
You see how he said he got the permission of Kouri lawyers? Then did you get the permission of Clint Business? Did you just talk about him? Watch this, y'all.
So you don't need to get a judge.
Who represented her to do that.
And you also got the permission of Clint Benson, right?
Yes.
And in fact, Clint gave you a key,
Yes.
and you had that key to use at your discretion.
Yes.
And there were
Good night,
times when you
Jordan.
would go to the
Love you,
house and
sweetheart.
Clint was not there, and you would let yourself in, right?
Good night, Jordan. Love you, sweetheart. Thank you. We just got done with Cross, right? Then cuz just say if Benson, and Benson is the brother-in-law, he the one who married to Katie, right? He said if Benson went there, he was on his way. So now he don't know if this nasty work.
I believe that my testimony covered that, and that was that Clint was
Love
aware
you
I was
too, Jordan.
there,
Yep.
and he was either on his way or there with me.
But you agree with me, and you have videos, I believe, that back this up. That there were occasions where you would go to the house, Clint was not there, you'd use your key, and you'd go in.
Yes.
And there were occasions where you would be spending hours and hours and hours in the office, because I've
Yes.
watched all the videos,
Yes.
and you would be there alone without Clint anywhere around you.
Yeah, I don't need supervision, counselor. I was
Perfect.
conducting an investigation.
Damn, he don't need supervision. Oh my, hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. I stopped that a little bit too early. I apologize.
Be there alone without Clint anywhere around you.
Yeah, I don't need supervision, counselor. I was
Perfect.
conducting an investigation, independent investigation, and he had given me the key, trusted me with that, and I was authorized to enter that premises at will.
Right. So if he got
What was that, child? I don't need supervision, counselor. Bro, she didn't ask your smooth face ass that. This is crazy. I don't need, what was that, child? Where did that come from?
on the stand and said you were never doing anything outside his eye, that would be false.
Well, from his perspective, he had knowledge of my presence there, as I have testified every time I was there. So from his perspective, it may look different.
Do you agree with me, sir, that they're alone in that office going through things?
I think that I've already testified to that.
Okay.
That wasn't me. That was a
Now, you were not permitted access to the house until after Kouri had been arrested, right?
No, that's not correct.
You got in the house before she was arrested?
No, that is not correct.
Okay, help me out.
The house was released by the Summit County Sheriff's on the 8th.
Okay.
That's what gave us, that was the trigger, not Kouri's arrest. It was the end of their search that triggered our access to the house.
Okay.
The police were executing a warrant.
Do you know when Kouri was arrested, sir?
I don't recall the exact date or time.
Would it surprise you to be the day before May 7th?
Okay.
All right. So,
Objection, not a foundation on that.
You re-ask the question, Ms. Nestor.
sorry, was it May? Would it surprise
I
you?
recall.
Okay.
Mm.
And
It would not surprise me if I do not recall. Damn. But you recall shit in 2022 with the prosecution. Come on, y'all. This man been doing this shit for 34 years. And he want to say this with a straight face to make us believe he didn't go immediately in that house when Kouri got arrested the same day. And he want to say that like a straight face fool to us.
during the time after Eric's death, but before Kouri's arrest on May 8th, did you ever go inside the house for that entire year?
I'm sorry, could you ask that again?
Sure. During the time between when Eric Richins died on March the 4th, in the early morning hours of 2022, and May 8th of 2023, were you ever inside the house at any point in between those times?
No, never.
Perfect. So the first time you ever got in that house, over a year had expired since.
You hear that? So the first time he got in the house, over a year had expired. The first time he got in the house, again, was over a year had expired. Remember that?
Eric had passed.
Yes.
Okay.
Hold up.
On March the 4th, in the early morning hours of 2022, and May 8th of 2023. Were you ever inside the house at any point in between those times?
No, never.
Perfect. So the first time you ever got into that house, over a year had expired since Eric had passed.
Yes.
Okay. And you mentioned the police had executed a search that day before they released it to you, right?
Yes.
And do you know how many times prior to that the police had searched that house?
No.
Okay. And then you've also testified here, I think very honestly, that on repeated occasions, you notified the police, hey, there's something you missed. You might want to go back to the house and find it again.
What the fuck is we watching, y'all? Man, stop playing with me.
But I thought was evidentiary.
How many times?
Oh, I don't know. 4 or 5.
So on at least 4 to 5 occasions,
Hold up.
you mentioned the police had executed a search that day before they released it to you, right?
Yes.
And do you know how many times prior to that the police had searched that house?
No.
Okay. And then you've also testified here, I think very honestly, that on repeated occasions, you notified the police, hey, there's something you missed. You might want to go back to the house and find it again.
I mean, I'm not going to adopt your characterization, but it is true that I called them back to that house when I discovered something that I thought was evidentiary.
How many times?
Oh, I don't know. 4 or 5.
So on at least.
So hold up. Look at Kouri looking, y'all. Look. So he called the police. The police had searched that house extensively before he got the call to search it. And then all of a sudden, he called him back 4 or 5. He said 4 or 5 times. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize.
4 to 5 occasions, you found things the police had missed.
Yeah, that's been my experience throughout my career.
And you
The
told
police
them.
never get everything. Ever.
Right. Well,
It's
not going to
true in
argue.
every case I've ever handled.
Sure, not going to argue with you on that one.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
He set himself up. That's the case in my career. Police never do anything. They never do anything ever. Oh, well, have you been watching this trial? Have you been watching this trial, buddy? Oh, wait.
they come back because you call them and say, hey, I found something, come back, here's where it is.
Yep.
And they know you're doing that. They know that you have full access to this house, right?
I don't know. No. I can't answer that.
Well, you're calling them every time you find something.
Well, what opinion they formed in their mind is not within.
Hold on. You don't know if they know that you at that house with opinion they formed is not your knowledge? Do y'all heard this guy? And y'all telling me Kouri is guilty? What is this? With a reasonable doubt? Y'all heard this dude? He said the police.
Sure not going to argue with you on that one.
Yeah, that's true.
So they come back because you call them and say, hey, I found something, come back, here's where it is.
Yep.
And they know you're doing that. They know that you have full access to this house, right?
I don't know what they know. I can't answer that.
Well, you're calling them every time you find something.
Well, what opinion they formed in their mind is not within my knowledge.
Okay, fair. True, you called them every time you found something.
That I thought was of evidentiary value in their investigation.
And did any of them ever say, you know what, we're good, stop calling us?
No, I don't recall that at all.
So then the converse of that is they encourage you to keep doing that.
Well, no, that is not the converse of your hypothetical, and I do not agree with your assessment.
Okay. Did you feel like you were helping them?
I was following the instructions of my client to turn over anything I thought was relevant to the criminal investigation. This is not my case. My case is in the civil court. Anything that we thought was of value to the criminal case, we turned it over.
And the police were happy with that.
I don't know if they were happy or sad or distraught. I have no
Oh,
idea
really?
their emotional conditions.
You
They
kept
sure told
calm.
you to stop.
The police never directed me to do anything, and if they had told me to stop, I would have ignored them.
Okay. So you could go in without a warrant, find something, call them, tell them to get a warrant, and they'd come get it.
I think that's an oversimplification and a vilification.
No, that ain't an over.
I had
Hold up,
permission
no,
to
that's
enter
not
the
an
premises.
over
I had every right.
facilification or vilification, whatever the hell he just said. That's true. You had the right to go in that house anytime you wanted to, right? And you call them, not knowing what was put in there or nothing, and you tell them, hey, I got something. So when you tell them that they give them probable cause to go in there and search, how did you find all that? And they didn't. Oh my.
Didn't need a warrant. I'm not a state actor. I have the permission of the property owner. So I don't agree with your characterization.
When the cops would show up, did you point out what you were showing them? Were you usually there?
No, I was there on one occasion when the police showed up. They executed warrants when I was not there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I only remember one occasion where I found an audio recorder in a dresser drawer that they then recovered by warrant.
And you waited around and pointed it out to them?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I never touched the device. Okay. So yeah, I would. I don't know if I pointed it out. I think what I did was, on that date, when I saw the recorder and recognized it for what it was, which is not easy, I just immediately withdrew. I left my audio recorder going until the police arrived. I don't recall pointing it out. I recall describing to them where it was.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. So then there was one occasion where you found something that was a letter purportedly written by Eric called the My Princess letter. Do you remember that?
I remember a baby cakes letter. I don't know if I remember My Princess. Is that the same one?
That's the one.
Yes.
You remember finding that letter?
August the 9th of 2024 is when I took a photograph of that, but I found it on May the 10th of 2020.
See how he remember that? August the 9th, May the 10th. He remember all that, but when the defense asked him stuff, he don't remember. Or he say, you're simplificating and vilificating what I'm saying. What is this?
3, during my search of the residence.
So when you found this letter, at some point, did you move the location that you found it from?
I don't recall ever moving the location on.
You don't recall ever moving the location. That's the first thing that came out of his mouth. Oh, keep going, pencil dick.
On the video, you will see me find the letter on May the 10th of 2023 when I'm in the bottom drawer of the vanity. And I looked at it. I didn't think it was relevant. I put it back down on the drawer. On August the 9th of 2024, when I photographed it on the bed, I do not recall if that letter was on the bed or whether I went and retrieved it from the vanity.
Huh? You don't recall if you said it was in the drawer, next in the vent, you don't recall. Oh, y'all heard this? You heard this punk motherfucker? Boy, this is ridiculous.
But there is video. The August 9th, 2024 was the episode that I described that I was called over and I didn't have a video recorder. So I was recording by audio and I was...
Okay. So listen, that's the day he didn't have a video, right? Oh, and that's the day you found the mysterious baby cakes letter. Oh my.
The same date that I recovered the audio recorder. So the letter was also photographed, and then later, I think it was taken by the police. I don't know, but...
Let me stop you for just a minute.
Okay.
You left the letter on the master bed, correct? For the police to find.
I left the letter on the master bed. I didn't know that the police were going to come for it.
Okay. And they ultimately did, correct?
Well, ultimately, I don't know because I wasn't present, so that's beyond my knowledge.
Isn't it true that you moved other things around in that house often?
No, that is not true.
Did you move a computer that you located in the office?
I don't recall moving a computer in the office, but I did not move it out of the office.
Did you put it in your Tesla?
If you are talking about the C&E computer, I did not find it in the office. That is not how that worked.
Okay. So you found it where, sir?
I found it in possession of my client who had taken it, who had been given it or taken it from Becky Lloyd. So my understanding of the pathway of the C&E computer that I examined was that it was picked up by Becky, who lives nearby.
Yeah, I remember Becky with the red hair, right? Remember, that's the one who went and got the computer. That's crazy. That's crazy work. Listen to Becky with the red hair, Becky Lloyd. Man, this is.
She then went to get business files off of it. I talked with her about this. I filed an extensive report regarding my interview about the computer. And then before I could get up to Francis to get that computer, I lived at the time 250 miles south of Francis in Washington.
Oh, look at him, y'all. He never mentioned how far he stayed away from here, y'all. Look, now he mentioning he stayed 250 miles. Well, this is blasphemy. This is blasphemy. He never mentioned that during the prosecution. He was like, I don't pay attention to nothing. I'm there to handle my business. I'm going to get it done. But now when they ask you about this fucking computer, you're mentioning you are over 250 miles away. Is everybody hearing what I'm hearing?
So it takes me a while to get up to Francis. Before I could get up to get that computer, I believed that my client had already secured it, and so I went and got it from her.
So Becky got the computer from the house after Eric died,
Yep,
right?
correct.
Then Becky gave it to Katie.
Correct.
And Katie gave it to you.
Correct.
And then all of that, no law enforcement ever put hands on it.
Correct.
So this is my thing right here. If you's a private investigator, you've been doing your job for 34 years. If that is your client, why would you let your client advise Becky Lloyd, to go get that computer? Why would he do that? Oh, now he missed the excuses that I was standing over 250 miles away. No, motherfucker. You was the problem. I don't give a fuck if you stayed 1,500 miles away. Get there.
At some point, you took it back up to the office to go through it?
No.
Right. Well, there's video of you going through that computer in the office.
I suppose that I may not have remembered that I went through a computer in that office, but the CNE computer.
He may not remember that he went through a computer in the office, y'all. But this is some of the worst shit I've ever seen in my life.
Was processed at a location in Midway, and I recall that there was what I want to say is an obvious missing hard drive location. I could see the outlines of a hard drive that had been in place in that computer. I became suspicious that the hard drive had been removed prior to me getting to that computer. I later sourced that missing hard drive to an upgrade that was performed by a computer company at the request of CNE. The hard drive contents were transferred to a solid state drive, and I did locate that inside the computer.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So can we play for the witness only clip?
Who took the hard drive?
We're going to play without sound, right?
Yes, sir. No sound.
Who took the hard drive?
I'm going to kind of wait till we get to the computer part.
Do you hear this beautiful Emma? Do you see
I'm
why?
sorry, that's the wrong one. Can we bring that one down? That's the next one.
Do you see why I'm so invested in this? Do y'all see this? He's talking about, oh, I must don't remember, but then you remember you took a hard drive out of it and all this other stuff. Becky did. Becky Lloyd. They sent Becky Lloyd, right? Becky Lloyd, who lied on the stand, made up all these lies. Oh, my God. Man, for you, oh my God. Becky Lloyd, she worked there, right? Man, oh Lord. Man, this is crazy.
One right before that, which is 173. It's GXO 10073. Do you have that one? Okay.
Excuse me, I'm having difficulty keeping my head up.
Oh, no worries. Whatever you need, sir, to be comfortable. Yep, I'll go back to that. It's going to take her a minute to upload that, Your Honor. So we'll get that. You don't recall putting electronic.
Okay, look. Now I was drinking on some tea and I choked. When he put this shit on right here, I choked. I'm feeling a little uncomfortable. Boy, you didn't have no stress or no uncomfortability. You were, doing all these hand movement and signals with the prosecution. Hey, Emma, I damn near died. Oh, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable. Damn, as much as you were swinging your arms around, looking at the jury, letting them know how you were coming, now you're feeling a little uncomfortable. What is this? It's the weakest shit ever, bro. I hope the jury is paying attention.
Documents in your Tesla and driving away from the house?
Oh, I remember that, yes. But that was not the C&E computer.
Okay, what computer was that?
I don't recall. I'd have to see the video. That's why I make them.
You removed a laptop from the office and put it in your Tesla and drove away with it?
Well, why you didn't make one when the so-called letter came up? Oh, okay.
I don't recall that, no. I do not. That would have been if there was a laptop in that office, it was mine.
Okay, well, we're going to pull it up and refresh your memory.
Yeah.
Now, if it was a laptop, girl, it was his. Oh, my pretty cookie, this is. Okay.
Also, you mentioned earlier that you didn't take, other than the vital records and the attorney-client privilege records, that you didn't take anything.
Y'all see how he turned around to that jury? Thought his neck was uncomfortable. He turned around quick, didn't he?
Else out of the home. That's not entirely true. You also took a safe out of the house?
Yeah, I described that by report, but...
Remember, y'all. Remember earlier when I said remember, he said he didn't take nothing out the house? How the fuck this pencil dickhead ass dude forget he took a safe out the house? And now he said I wrote it in the report. How the prosecution didn't ask him if he took a safe out? Why they didn't ask him that? Does that matter? It's my thing. The prosecution is supposed to do their job, do it right. Why they didn't ask him that? Yeah, Emma, a safe. He forgot he took a big old safe out. Yo, this motherfucker forgot he took a big old safe out. Now he's saying it was in his report. Hold up. I'm sorry, my people. I'm sorry. Watch how he turned his neck around. Watch.
Yes. But that was not the C&E computer.
Okay, what computer was that?
I don't recall. I'd have to see the video. That's why I make them.
You removed a laptop from the office and put it in your Tesla and drove away with it?
I don't recall that, no. I do not. That would have been if there was a laptop in that office, it was mine.
Okay, well, we're going to pull it up in just a minute. I'll refresh your memory.
Yeah.
Also, you mentioned earlier that you didn't take, other than the vital records and the attorney-client privilege records, that you didn't take anything else out of the home. That's not entirely true. You also took a safe out of the house?
Yeah, I described that by report, but that safe was returned.
Okay, so you went into the house with your own key, correct?
Yes.
You went into the family, I believe is in the master closet, is that right? Where was it?
Yes.
You picked it up, took it out of the house, and put it in your Tesla.
Yes, I believe I did that at the request of Clint Benson.
Okay.
No. You did it at the fucking record. You did that. You picking up a safe with no gloves, hands all in it. What is this? Oh, okay.
And then you drove it to a locksmith.
I did.
And you busted into the safe.
I did not bust into the safe.
Oh, he did not bust into the safe. All right, hold on. Let's rewind it just a little bit.
Where was it?
Yes.
You picked it?
Yeah, I did that at the request of Clint Benson.
Okay. And then you drove it to a locksmith.
I did.
And you busted into the safe.
I did not bust into the safe.
Well, he did.
He bumped. He used a technique called bumping. It's the movement of the door in the frame of the safe that allows it to come open.
Okay, but you didn't have a combination.
I didn't, I don't know if that was a combination. I thought there was a key to that one.
It was forced open with a hammer, right?
I think it was a rubber mallet and it was dropped onto the ground.
Okay.
I think that's what eventually got it opened, was that it was dropped onto a flat surface.
And when you were doing that, there's no law.
They wanted that safe open so bad. They dropped it onto the ground. He won't admit that it was a hammer. It was a rubber mallet. You think that's going to make it sound better?
Enforcement there, correct?
I don't need law enforcement to babysit me.
Okay. And you open it up.
Oh, look at this smart bastard, bro. He don't need...
I didn't, I don't know if that was a combination. I thought there was a key to that one.
You
It
heard
was
this?
forced open with a hammer, right?
I think it was a rubber mallet and it was dropped onto the ground.
Okay.
I think that's what eventually got it opened, was that it was dropped onto a flat surface.
And when you were doing that, there's no law enforcement there, correct?
I don't need law enforcement to babysit me.
Okay. And you open it up and there's clips from guns in there, right?
I would have to go back to my report to recall exactly what was in there.
Did you handle it with your bare hand?
Hold up. He don't know what was in there? You heard her say it was clips and guns. And before I paused it, she said, you picked it up with your bare hands.
Hands, no gloves.
I did.
All right. And
He picked it up bare hands, no gloves. Oh, wait.
I'm sorry. And you also found an unusual residue in the safe. Do you recall that? That you touched with your fingers?
I don't recall that.
All right.
He
We'll play
don't
that.
recall nothing they say.
Fantastic.
I do think we found the video of the laptop, so can we queue up for the witness only GXO10073?
Yeah, that's my laptop. I'm scanning
Oh, that's
into
your
my
laptop.
the
Oh, that's
documents
your laptop.
that I am going through at the office. That is my laptop.
The black one?
Thank you for saying.
So you're
Hey,
scanning
remember
off-
he just said that. I'm scanning all my documents for the laptop. Listen, y'all, Miss Nestor is an excellent attorney, right? And I know she's an excellent attorney.
all the documents you're finding in the office and then loading them into your laptop.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And again, Clint Benson was not present when you were doing any of this.
Yes, that is my testimony on direct.
Okay. Now let's go to the one of the safe. Can you pull up the clip 100055? Hold on just a moment. 105.
How would you forget about that? Yeah, exactly.
Sorry. I think it might be under the impeachment documents.
Golly.
All right, we'll get the safe one up to refresh your memory about that residue. You don't remember touching some residue and filming it and asking the safe breaker if that was unusual to find residue on a safe?
I don't recall that. I would have to refer back to the video that I made of that for justice purpose.
Okay, no worries. So my understanding is you were at the house. There were some times before you had access to the house while Ms. Richins was still living there that you would sit outside her house and observe the house while she was in it. Is that fair?
It is not fair. That is false.
You never did that?
I never sat outside her house and watched her. False.
Not on March 9th of 2023. Is that right?
I did.
And that's a secret device that you put on someone's car so you can follow where they're going without their knowledge?
So GPS tracking devices are generally covert, and there's good reason for that. I put GPS devices on Kouri's vehicle and two of Lisa's vehicles, one of which was being used by Kouri's brother, Ronnie.
So her mother's cars and her car.
That is correct.
And how long did you track these individuals?
I think there were different times for different vehicles. I don't recall the exact amount of time, but that'll be in the file that you have.
And did you turn over your reports on every single place they went for months to law enforcement?
Yes.
And you know that law enforcement is required to have a warrant to do that.
Well, they have to get a warrant, and I have to go through a different procedure that's prescribed by Utah law to appropriately place those devices.
Did you track anybody else's car in this case?
I want to say yes.
You want to?
Yes, I did.
Who else?
There were some vehicles that I suspected that Carmen Lauber may be utilizing. But I discovered that, in fact, the vehicle that was parked at her house overnight on many occasions was being driven by someone else.
So you never gave that report to law enforcement?
I believe I did.
You gave the Carmen Lauber tracking report to law enforcement?
Yes, it wouldn't be named Carmen Lauber, though.
What would it be named?
Oh. I want to say there were a number of people that were associated with her residence.
That's all right. If it's
There was
not
Nick Bon Savage. There was
So why the fuck wouldn't it be in the Carmen name? You didn't get that report? But you trying to say you put on somebody? How can you put a report under somebody else's name, y'all?
And another young man who were frequenting that residence, and I believe that vehicle that I tracked from that residence was seen there overnight on multiple occasions. I really don't remember because the point of that was to track Carmen Lauber.
Yeah,
and when I discovered that it wasn't Carmen driving the car, I removed the device.
okay. Law enforcement was also providing you. I believe you said that Mr. Bloodworth asked you if you got information from law enforcement, and you said no. Is that right?
No, that's not right.
Okay, please correct me.
Well, I would have discussions with law enforcement. I could garner an understanding. I could read between the lines if you want.
In fact, you went to meetings with law enforcement about this case, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
How many times did you have meetings with them?
I don't recall. I don't count.
What? You don't?
The number is not relevant to me.
Oh, it ain't.
Well, you appreciate it, my
Man,
friend.
why would you say something ain't relevant to you in a woman on trial for murder, fam? But you remember everything from 2022 with the prosecution, with the number. Man, this is wild.
Relevant to me? Can you try to remember?
Half a dozen.
Okay. Can you pull up TG11 for the witness only?
Oh, wait. She asked him, could you try to remember?
Can you make it bigger?
She got to ask him that.
All right, sir. Do you recognize that?
Why you smiling?
I can see it.
Do you recognize it?
Why you smiling? Why he ain't saying nothing? Look at him. Look at him, y'all.
I do.
All right, and is that an email that you sent to Detective Woody on July 13th of 2022?
Look at him, y'all. Look.
I'm going to have difficulty talking about this exhibit because
What?
It contains a
what?
Confidential client communication.
Okay.
With respect, I'm not sure you have standing to make any objections, and he seems fully
You
attuned
see-
to the issue.
This is why I like this judge,
Ms.
right? Because he thorough. He thorough. Because he shut shit down for the defense like he did today. But this motherfucker was willing to answer every other question. But he say, because client privilege. And then the judge say, whoever objected say, who the hell you think you is? Thinking you can object, sit your ass down. Let's listen to this, y'all. And y'all think why I'm so invested in this? Y'all think I'm crazy?
An email that you sent to Detective Woody on July 13th of 2022?
I'm going to have difficulty talking about this exhibit because if it becomes an exhibit, it contains a confidential client communication. But I did send it to Detective Woody.
Okay.
Your Honor, I object to Mr. Gabriel being required to testify regarding any claim.
With respect, I'm not sure you have standing to make any objections, and he seems fully attuned to the issue. Ms. Nestor, I'm not sure where we're headed to. Just take it one question at a time.
I shall. Thank you, Your Honor. Is it fair to say that this is an example of you suggesting to Detective Woody that now would be a really good time for law enforcement to interview Carmen Lauber?
Yes.
And why would that be, sir?
She's on the ropes in drug court, so it says.
Right.
She was on the ropes.
And in fact, what
She was. She on the ropes in drug court, or she was on the ropes. Because remember, they gave her that sweet big deal to make her remember something that she didn't remember in 7 interviews. He lied and said earlier. Shout out to Doe Rip. Man. Hey, Doe, I'm gonna just call you Doe. Look, Doe. people got to understand why I'm so invested in this shit right here, right? Because this motherfucker have lied and said he didn't do that. You tipping them, you steady doing this. But you talking about client attorney privilege. But this is, man, my heart hurt for Kouri Richins and her 3 boys. Because this is worse than Karen Reed. This is worse. Right? Or on the same level. But for some reason, the majority of America don't believe Kouri Richins. And they not looking at this trial. This piece of shit motherfucker was swinging his neck and his arms around when he was on there for the prosecution. Now when the defense started questioning him and making his slick ass brain think, oh, I'm feeling uncomfortable, I need to put this on. But this is...
Argued was she would be very likely to be compliant at this point with law enforcement. Is that your words?
Yes.
All right. Also in here, you accuse Kouri of lying about the name of her house cleaner.
Yes.
And the lie that you said Kouri told was that her house cleaner was her cute cleaner, Norma.
Yes.
In fact, didn't you, sir, finally confirm that Norma Garcia was her house cleaner?
I did later confirm that. Yes.
So,
he said he did later confirm that. Look how reckless this bitch is. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to clean my language up, but when I'm pissed off, look how reckless this bitch is. He sent an email to the police accusing Kouri Richins of being a liar, saying that her housekeeper name wasn't Norma. Then he said, I found out after the fact. Well, bitch, after the fact is too late. A woman's life is on the line, motherfucker.
Cleaner Norma?
Yes.
In fact, didn't you, sir, finally confirm that Norma Garcia was her house cleaner?
I did later confirm that. Yes.
So when you sent this to police and said Kouri was lying, you were wrong.
I was wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, you.
Prior to Norma.
Your Honor.
You need to pause for the next question, sir. Thank you.
Very good.
Oh, and y'all see how he was trying to clean it up, and Attorney Nestor said, Your Honor, and the judge made him shut the fuck up. Look how he looking now. Y'all know how dangerous that is, right? This is a fucking PI who paid by the family, who tipping the police off, lying. He said she was lying that this lady name wasn't Norma. Then this bitch said he found out after the fact it was the truth. That's dangerous, y'all. What is these motherfuckers watching to say Kouri is guilty?
Did law enforcement give you access to I'm going to try to use the right word, to folders where you could access their information on like a subfolder where you had a link to their folder?
No.
Did you provide them with links to your folder?
Yes.
And one of the links you provided them involved a download of Eric's phone. Is that right?
No.
Okay.
Watch this, y'all. She said one of the links you provided, yeah, this is going to be the text. Watch this. One of the links you provided was a download to Eric's phone, and this bitch just said, no. And he said no, y'all. He said no. And he said no. Watch how the bitch try to clean it up, but you can't. Watch what this bitch.
Them with links to your folder?
Yes.
And one of the links you provided them involved a download of Eric's phone. Is that right?
No.
Okay. Did it involve the decoded call logs that you talked about earlier where you figured out everybody's number and name?
I'm confused. You're talking about two separate things. You were just talking about Eric's phone.
You said
huh?
no, right?
I had an identical copy of Eric's phone that I created from the backup on his Apple
Oh,
iCloud.
identical copy.
I may have turned that over to them, but they already had Eric's phone.
Oh, no, she didn't ask you.
What I had done, which was to trick the Apple server into repopulating a blank iPhone so that I could then forensically examine that iPhone and come up with context from Eric's phone. So I may have given them that information that I created from a clone of Eric's phone.
So you had in your possession a clone or an exact copy of Eric Richins' phone?
It would not be an exact copy. Only the items that were unencrypted or decryptable from the Apple backup would be on the clone phone. For example, encrypted data would not be present for biometrics, for his Apple Watch. If he was wearing a biometric watch, well, that is all encrypted. That would not come back to a new cloned phone. But all of the text messaging, the web histories, the call histories, all of that stuff will be present on that clone.
So you had access to all his texts?
I don't believe I did.
Why not?
Oh, you hear him? Hey, Doe. Emma. Y'all heard him? She just said you had access to all of Eric texts. He said no. Watch this.
And this is maybe a stupid old question, but explain to me why you didn't have access to his texts if you downloaded everything off the cloud.
Listen, all of his texts.
Okay.
I don't believe I ever got all of his texts.
Oh, now you want to say all of his texts.
I don't recall the date at this time. I would have to refer to the file material to know the exact date of the first event on the phone.
Because I'm
So how
solo
much time
over
did
here
you spend reading
smoking.
this text?
Well, I don't recall exactly. I could refer back to some records to come up with an answer for you. It would have been a number of hours.
Hundreds of hours?
No.
Okay.
I mean, in this case,
Right.
936.3 hours.
Oh,
How many hours you billed total for the case?
Yep.
And what were you paid for that?
I don't know.
How much you charge an hour?
$125 an hour.
Hey, now remember, I told y'all about how much he said he charged an hour. Now watch what he finna say right here to try to make it seem like he was doing watch this, y'all.
However, it is not the only software, and my expertise an hour, I think, was the discounted rate that I gave them.
So I'm really bad at math. Please forgive me if I get this wrong.
Yeah, but we're both in the same place.
We're talking about over $100,000 you made on this case.
I would say so, yes.
Okay.
So her family paid him over $100,000, y'all. Over $100,000. Oh my.
Now I want to go back to that phone and you reading his text.
Yes.
As you were calling through your hypotheses, obviously one of the things you want to look at is the state of their marriage. Is that fair?
I mean,
it's significant.
It's not dispositive.
Oh, you know why he's saying that, right, y'all? He trying to, it's not really nothing. Oh, y'all finna see why he's saying that. Watch this.
It's important context, but it's not evidence of anything.
Oh, okay.
I see a lot of bad marriages out there. In my career, I've handled many hundreds of divorce cases. So, people have problems.
Did you review text messages between Eric and some of his friends?
Yes.
Did you review text messages between Eric and Bryce?
Bryce Knudsen?
Yes.
That's who it is, Bryce. That's the girl Eric was texting. And he's saying he don't remember specifically. Watch this, y'all.
Specifically, but if they were there, I'd probably look at them.
Okay. Your Honor, can I have just a moment? When you reviewed Eric's text, did you find evidence of him sexting with people other than Kouri?
I don't recall that.
You hear that, y'all? Doe, Tully, everybody else who on her. He said he don't recall that. He don't recall that. Watch this.
I did investigate allegations of an affair with Eric.
Okay, but that's not my question. My question is, do you recall seeing sexting, as the kids say, on Eric's phone with people other than Kouri?
Oh, shout out to the beautiful Jen. Oh, love you to death. Sweetheart, I appreciate everybody who here. And I wish everybody would, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why people ain't rocking with me though, but I don't know what's popping.
I don't know what you mean.
But I appreciate everybody who here, man.
By sexting. I don't know what the parameters of that are. And so my answer is no.
So he said, everybody, he said he don't know what the parameters of sexting is, right? I'm just using an example. If I see any of you beautiful ladies, I'd be like, ooh, damn. When I say, man, yo, I'm just be like, your ass was fat in them tights today. Man, I can't wait to, put my face on it, something like that in the text. That's sexting, y'all. And he say, this old motherfucker who look like he paid for Punani, say, he don't know what sexting is. He don't know what the parameters of that is. This is a dude who say he been a private investigator for 34 years, y'all. And he say he don't know the parameters of sexting, pretty kooky. What is wrong with this motherfucker? I'd be like, oh, baby, you was smelling so good today, right? Oh, I can't wait to see how you smell all over your body. That's not sexting. I'm just using examples, but that's sexting. Oh, baby, the way I was holding your shoulders and you was just coming back. I'm thinking about that right now. I can't wait to do it again. You gonna do it good for me, baby? That's sexting.
Okay.
But this bitch, this pencil dick word bitch say, he don't know the parameters of it. If you a jury, would you believe that? And watch this, y'all, it get worse.
Did you find any texts where Eric talked about having an open marriage with Kouri?
I don't recall that.
Oh, wow. You don't? Damn.
At some point, were you investigating cases that were being prosecuted in the Summit County area around the time that Eric died, where people were caught distributing fentanyl?
Yes.
Did you gather affidavits from cases where fentanyl was being sold in the Summit County area?
Yes.
And did you ever follow up on any of those investigations, or did you just stop by gathering the affidavits?
Well, they were plugged into the hypothesis testing matrix. I considered them for their proximity being in Summit County and for them involving fentanyl. In each of those cases, I found no relationship to this case.
Okay.
What? The fuck did he just say?
I want to pull up TG2, Katie, just for this witness.
Watch this, y'all.
Sorry, I lied about the time. I'm going a little bit longer, Your Honor. I'm close to done.
Oh, no, keep going, Miss
Sir,
Nestor.
do you
Fuck
recognize
him.
that?
I do.
Is that what you were talking about with Mr. Bloodworth, which is the decoding where you looked at his call records and tried to figure out who he was calling?
It is the record that I referred to when I was...
For the... All right, sir, we've blown up a section. Does that refresh your memory about what you determined a call that was made on December 14th at...
Give me the date one more time.
I'm sorry, February 14th. Thank you, Your Honor. At 12:25 p.m.
Well, this is not a record that I created. I recognize the format, and it appears to be Eric Richins' phone had an incoming call at 12:25.
Can you look at the call right above that one?
Look at him.
This is an outgoing call from Eric Richins' phone on March the 9th of 2022. I'm sorry, February the 14th of 2022 at 12:23, 2 minutes before the first record that we talked about, and that is to a different number. It is 01-473.
Look at him, yeah.
5058.
So as part of your investigation that you were doing on the mirror phone, you could at least identify a call that was made by Eric at 12:23 p.m. on February 14th, right?
I'm confused. We're looking at we're looking at an invoice record from a
Oh,
carrier.
my
And you're
God.
asking me about his phone. Those are two different things.
Is
Did
it?
this invoice come from his phone
No,
billing records?
from his carrier, from
This is
Verizon.
the same shit
That's
you
not
done,
a record from his phone.
stupid
That's a
bitch.
record from his carrier.
Understand.
This,
Two different things.
oh,
So
my-
according to the bill from his carrier,
Yeah.
he made a call at 12:23 p.m. on February 14th.
Correct.
Objection. There's a 901 problem here.
I'm done with it, Your Honor.
Hold on. You got to approach for a moment if you would.
carrier and phone is the same.
Did you ever make any calls or any trips to Mexico as part of your investigation?
No.
Oh, she coming back to it, child. Don't trip.
You mentioned you interviewed 45 to 50 people, somewhere around there, 40 to 50.
Yeah, it's an approximate number. I have no method of calculating that number. It's
Man, we don't need all that. You didn't say
Did you
that
ever
with the
interview Kouri?
prosecution.
I did. I spoke to Kouri. She called me on January the 19th of 2023.
All right. And she voluntarily spoke to you
She called me.
and talked to you voluntarily?
She did. And I stopped her. I told her it would be inappropriate
Oh,
and
wow.
unethical for me to continue the conversation outside the presence of her lawyer. I then texted her lawyer and had a phone call with her lawyer about the propriety of her client speaking without her presence.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
I then submit to an interview multiple times.
Point is, Kouri called you to talk to you.
Oh,
and
she
Contacted one of her
said
business
anger.
associates. I believe that was the reason she called me on that date.
Oh, you
and
believe?
so you never to this day have sat down with Kouri and heard her version of what happened.
No, despite my repeated requests.
Huh?
She called you.
And I was bound by the ethics not to talk to her outside the presence of her lawyer. She was a litigant. She sued my client.
Okay. And ultimately,
client.
as you were working with the trust, did you become aware that the trust filed a wrongful death suit against Kouri?
I
And are you aware they're seeking over $10 million in damages against Kouri Richins?
didn't know that. It's irrelevant to me.
You didn't?
Okay, court's
Oh.
indulgence, just a moment, Your Honor.
Of course.
Oh, wait, watch this, y'all.
I
Them
asked you
texts from
whether
the
you recall
eaters.
seeing any texts with Eric about him and Kouri having an open relationship, and you said you could not recall. Is that right?
Correct.
Can you put that up on the screen, Katie?
Watch this, y'all. Watch this bitch
Do you
ass
recall
dude.
looking at that text?
I do.
You've seen this one?
I believe I have.
Oh, you
It's a
believe? It's a joke.
It's a joke.
It is. It appears to me to be a joke.
How the
Did
fuck?
you see the text around this text?
I did.
So you have reviewed the text between Eric and Bryce.
I don't know. I don't know that this is a text from Bryce. I have no idea. This does not identify Bryce.
So
Doesn't
now that
identify anybody.
now that you have your memory refreshed, do you remember seeing this text between Eric and another individual saying that Kouri and I are starting an open relationship tonight? Right?
It says, Kouri and I are starting an open relationship tonight, so I told her I'm taking you home.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And you left that out of your report.
No, this would be part of my report.
Where?
Did you see sexting between Bryce and Eric when you looked at their texts?
I don't recall that, no.
Katie?
And is this sexting? I don't know what you mean.
No, I'm not talking about this one. I'm talking
Okay.
about other ones.
All right. I don't recall. I'm talking about many hundreds of thousands of messages in this case.
Oh my
Can't recall them.
God.
Can I show you this other text right here and see if
What's
it
this,
refreshes your
y'all?
memory? Do you remember seeing a whole bunch of emails like this or texts like this between Eric and Bryce?
Honestly,
What?
no, I don't remember. There, like
Oh,
I
you-
say, there were hundreds of
Oh, you
thousands
don't
of messages
remember?
in this case. I don't remember even one.
Oh,
I understand this to be sexting. I think you're wrong about that. I resist your characterization.
oh wow. Watch this.
These are two friends joking with each other. That's what I'm reading here.
And they did that all the time,
I don't know.
hundreds of times.
If I had the records, and then I could answer your question, but I don't remember all of these messages. And yeah, this is a joke.
Did you review all of the texts between Bryce and Eric?
I think at one time I would have gone through every single text message that was available to me on Eric's cloned phone. So Do I recall it? Well, I mean, I recall that it was a bit mind-numbing. There was a lot there. Nothing particularly stuck out in my mind or memory about those messages.
Did they repeatedly talk about having sex acts together?
I don't recall.
Did they repeatedly talk about oral sex together?
I don't recall.
Did they talk about anal sex together?
Also don't recall.
But you read them all,
I'm sure that I did.
and it's all joking.
Knowing what I know about Bryce and Eric, yeah, that's how I interpret it.
So you do remember reading things of this nature, and you interpreted it all as joking.
No, as I sit here today, I interpret it that way. I would have interpreted it that way back at my original reading of it. That doesn't mean I recall it. It means I have an opinion about what I thought then. That's different.
And what did you think then? They were joking?
No. What I think now is that this was a joke. I do not have a recollection of this at the time that I first read it, but if I had a recollection of that time, I'm sure it would be the same as it is today.
And if there were these tens of 20s of 50s of these types of emails, all of them would be jokes?
Sustained.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Mr. Bloodworth, anything further from Mr. Gibbler?
Almost done,
John,
yeah.
thank you.
This shit crazy.
Text, there are a bunch of to-dos locker room talk from August of 2018.
That was my read of it, yes.
There wasn't any serious read that Eric Richins and Bryce Knudsen were engaged in some homosexual affair.
Zero.
In all of the text messages you reviewed, did you see any evidence of Eric using illicit street drugs?
No, I looked and I could not find.
You mentioned legal requirements for a licensed private investigator to place a GPS tracker on a car. What are those legal requirements?
Placing the device person or persons that are driving that vehicle and potentially the owner of that vehicle, and that they submit a request to query the protected persons database in the state of Utah for any record of those persons that are subject to the GPS tracking. That is designed to keep us from tracking people who have protective orders or temporary restraining orders or other lawful processes that define them as a protected person. We cannot track you in that circumstance. We do not have independent access to that database. So we must ask an agency of the state for a yay or nay. Is this person in the protected persons database? We have to do that before we place a device. We have to be certain that we are not tracking a protected person. So I submitted those requests to the appropriate counties of the jurisdictions where I placed these devices. The Summit County Sheriff's Office initially declined my request under the statute. I insisted. I finally got them to comply. I did the same with the Wasatch County Sheriff's Office, and they complied with my request.
Did you conduct your investigation entirely within the bounds of the law?
I believe I did.
Did
You believe?
conduct your investigation entirely within the ethical bounds of private investigators and the attorneys you were working for in this case?
I believe that I did.
Thank you, sir.
Is there anything further for Mr. Gibbler?
No, Your Honor.
May we release this witness?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you for your time.
Another case, y'all. Another witness. But nobody paying attention to this. This is a trial by public. This is not a trial by evidence. People can think she guilty. I'm not going to. Y'all can have that assumption coming into the case. Right. But if any reasonable motherfucker looking at this case like I am, when do you see so many mistakes? Like, and just wait till tomorrow, right? The forensic examiner This dude wasn't even certified. Like all his stuff is what he think it's gonna be. These are the experts they got. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But like I see this is a trend with pretty white women. Boy, they are a target when it comes to something happening like this. They are a target. Not all of them don't be innocent, but pretty white women are targets, right? He had the clone phone. He acted like he didn't know who that number was. But when he brought up that was Bryce, right, the girl, he was sexting with. Oh, me coming to know about Eric and Bryce. That's hearsay, you bitch ass dude. Eric ain't here no more. How the fuck you gonna know about him? It's getting no attention. None. Nobody is watching this. None. Everybody's saying guilty. And I'm just in outer space when I hear that. But poor thing, cause every cop mostly a man, and a lot of men have resentment. And pretty white girls, I agree. And I hate that for beautiful white women out here, right? Cause y'all targets, right? This really break my heart. It really break my heart, and it break my heart like it broke my heart what they was doing to Carol Reed. But in that situation, the outpour was there. People were there. Everybody was talking about it. I thought investigation matters, but I thought being credible matters. But everybody's saying guilty. I'm like, what the fuck is y'all looking at? Man, they finna send a mother of three on a bullshit investigation and a bullshit trial where it screams reasonable doubt. And if you got a think or a hope, you think, you say she might, she possibly, man, she is not guilty. Like Emma say, everyone. And like Emma say, Kouri has no TB, man. And shout out to the GOAT, because I remember when he asked that question on there, right? He like, everybody think Kouri's guilty. I said, I think she innocent. He like, right there, she innocent. I say, man, go. And I was on there, he was saying, You know, everybody was telling me, no. I'm like, man, y'all ain't even watching this shit. This hurt my heart, y'all. Like, for real. This a mother who got 3 boys. And if she gets sitting down for this world, it's just so many hoes. Who got the type of heart? Who is evil like that to where you could just say, guilty? Man, I love y'all to death, man. Emma pretty kooky. Everybody who on her, man, I love y'all to death. I want y'all to know I appreciate y'all. And I just want y'all to keep on riding with me. Right? Because y'all know I came in her out for the right reason, right? And, man, made shit shake. Right? So, and I don't know, because I'm always supporting everybody. Like, to the ultimate, and I mean that shit. And that shit was fucked up. You know, like, when I came in, when this shit was just going crazy, man. And I came in and jackknifed that shit. I don't know if people like me for the moment. I'm going to keep on staying the same and being me. I ain't gonna let that shit bother me. Right? It do. But it ain't gonna stop the mission that we still on, because, I mean, it's a lot more people in this movement, right? And them who I got to go get, you know what I'm saying? You know, everybody else don't show up no more. So, but I do appreciate the GOAT, the OG, Broken Baker. I appreciate all of them, man, to death, right? You know, the OG and the GOAT, because they the 2 main centerpieces. And, man, they went so hard for me. That's why I'm forever indebted with them guys. I will always ride with them. Just remember when everybody was going to everybody else in this movement, I ain't asked nobody to tell me. I went at them and I came at them, right? Man, the 2 people who I seen, and like I say, Broken Baker, OG, and the GOAT, and it's more, I'm sure. But, like I seen them coming hard for me, and I appreciate them. That shit meant everything, because it ain't got like everybody cool, but when you got the GOAT, the OG, guys like Broken Baker going to bat for you, man, shit me and everything, but I don't know what happened to the people, you know. Like, you hear people say stuff like this and that. Like, I don't know, but like I said, I'm always down for the cause. I just be confused on what happened with the people. Why they so angry. With me, it's when shit, I done did more good than bad. But you know, the good you do, sometimes it get overlooked. And that's okay. I tell y'all, keep going. But I love y'all to death, man. See y'all soon. TRUF. Truth.
He's the mirage in the rear view glass.
It's Ray from Dallas.
Let slip past. Was he here? Was he there? Was he ever mine?
Ray from Dallas?
Just a trick played by time.
This dude is savage
Is
as
he
fuck.
real or just a dream?
What up, Ray from Dallas?
Beam. Ray from Dallas. Tell me true. Are you the
He's
myth
fine.
or the man I knew?
Hi, Ray.
This appears to be a black man.
Ray from Dallas.
Let's take this walk.
Is he real or just a dream? Falling stars or a laser beam? Ray from Dallas. Tell me true. Are you the myth or the man I knew?
This dude is
Savage as fuck.